Hello, riding cars. Welcome back. This video, I this video is going to be about I don't know my validation, I guess, of the car market. I've tried to make a series of videos. No, I've tried to make this video a few times, and for whatever reason, it's not working out. It all started. I had a late night meeting, and then after the meeting, I had my car parked, and I went and took a picture of it, and I sent it to a buddy. uh, a really good friend. Check out his YouTube channel. It's Behind the Wheel Experience. I we don't talk all the time. When we do, we talk for hours and hours and hours, and it's like 5 minutes has passed, and we end up talking about cars. And he was kind of the inspiration for me to get into YouTube. That all aside, I sent him a picture of my car, and the sun was shining on it just right. It was a little shiny thing. I'm not going to put it in the video because I don't do that sort of thing. But I sent the picture to him because I knew he'd get the joke. It's a Hornet. It's too much money. It's blah, 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 blah. Insert Hornet jokes here. So I sent it to him, and he got the joke, and he sent me a text back saying, HMMMMM. And I was like, but then I said, 2 liters, 260-ish horsepower, all for the bargain price of $50,000. I knew that would get a reaction out of him. Then I quickly sent a follow-up text to give some context. And the context was, is the car market upside down? Question mark. Because I have been talking about the car market on this channel a few times. I actually have a whole video about it, I think, upcoming, releasing. I'm probably going to stick this video in somewhere between that. So if you see it later on, you know what you're talking about. You know what I'm talking about. We're all on the same page. He sent me back. This is the validation. He sent me back a thumbs up on my upside down thing, and then yeah, I think it is. And he sent me a picture of um, he sent me a listing, a picture of a listing of a Ford 3500 Super Duty, right, for $89,000. Not a half ton, the full 1 ton work truck, the WT. You guys who know Fords, you know what I'm talking about. The WT is the lowest of the low of the low of the low, and it's meant to be abused. And this Ford truck was $89,000, so $90,000 for a work truck. And if you've never done work and you only buy cars because, like, for passenger cars, not for work or anything like that, I can justify that price almost because it's a truck. Because I can make money off of a truck. But most people nowadays drive trucks and they're paying $90,000 for a half ton. For a half ton. I was driving a lady last week, and she bought a Bighorn Dodge thingy, and it was 4 years old or something like that. And she paid $40,000 for it. 30, 38,000 or something like that, and it was a couple of years ago. But now, for her to replace that vehicle, is $120,000 Canadian. And she's like, there's no way. And she only uses it as a daily driver. She drives to and from work in it. And that's the thing with pickup trucks. Like, people got into these big pickup truck things and driving it to and from, dropping off kids to school. Like, you don't need a pickup truck to do that. Pickup truck is something that you can make money off of, and you should be making money off of. That all aside, I'm looking at this basic listing for a basic F3500 and going, as a business person, I have to pay $100,000 before my business is even running. Or even if I have a business running, I still have to fork over $100,000. Because by the time the smoke clears on that car with the Canadian taxes and delivery fees and block heater charges and all of that stuff that comes at the end of signing the contract, it's 100 and something, right? Not including financing fees. And I'm looking at that going, oh, that's why things cost so much nowadays. Like, for me to go from A to B in this van, which was probably bought at 85,000. Well, with that floor, it's probably closer to 100. But it was bought in 2020 to 2023. I did a thing on this van. I haven't seen the sale sticker on this thing, the sticker thing, that the MSRP and all of that on this van. But to replace it, I was at the Dodge dealership. They do have a cargo van. It's at 85,000. It doesn't have the windows. It doesn't have the floor. It doesn't have the technology that's in here that makes this actually a really good handy van, passenger van sort of thing. I know the lift when I was working at Handy Dart was $7,000, $7,500 is what they were telling us at the time, and we were installing them. So it's $10,000 for that lift in the back. I don't know. You see it? Yeah, there's a lift back there. The Braun lift, the Braun Mobility. Yeah. But you know, sending him that picture and getting that validation going. Hey, look, this is what's going on in the car market, vehicle market, and it is weird. I think in the video I posted, it was like the bubble's gonna burst or something like that. People are saying stuff like that because we don't know. Like, car people don't know what's going on with the market right now. It is so weird. I think even car manufacturers are struggling, and there's like the one little guy that's been there for 20 years, or that they just hired, and who's been in the business for that long. He's in these meetings and he's saying, we can't keep making these things. We have to make something super cheap. It's the only way to turn this around. Every car maker right now is suffering because of their brand recognition. I don't care who they are. Even Mazda, which is probably the most reliable thing that you can buy right now. Even Subaru is in trouble. Like, you can't rely on a Toyota, on a brand new Toyota. Something after 2022, you cannot rely on a Toyota. They're not reliable. Honda is not reliable. The two big names, even Mazda at this point, because they are going to the turbo engine with all the plastic parts in it. Like, And then I buy something like a Dodge Hornet, which is a one-off that everybody hates, and it's turning out to be better than a Toyota. It's equal to an old Honda. I don't say Toyota because it's harder on gas than a Toyota. It's just as equal as a Honda, though, that I've owned in the past. pre-2010. Yeah, pre-2010. Yeah. So, as a car person, I don't know what advice to give to people. Well, I do know. I do know now, actually. I've worked it out in talking about these videos and deleting them and trying to remake this video again. I do know what to look for. Like Toyota put out a brand new vehicle to the market at the same time as the Hornet. It was called it's called the Toyota Royale. I don't know if it's available in every country. However, what they did with this car, and look it up on the internet. Go find a YouTube video about the Toyota Royale. It's based on a Venza, the platform, and they used all tried and true technologies. The engine, the drivetrain, all the buttons, everything is from pre-existing, long-standing Toyota things. So it's probably the best Toyota to buy of any Toyota right now is to go out and buy that Toyota Royale, whatever it costs. Because it doesn't matter what you're paying right now. All cars are out to lunch on pricing for the common person. The Royale, what Toyota did with the Royale, they brought back the name, the old Royale from the 70s, early 80s, and the Cressida. Those of you who have known them know what I'm talking about. Super reliable car. And that's what they did with this new Royale. They didn't bring back the car and reinvent it. What they brought back was the reliability in the car. And that's what you're paying for when you buy that Toyota Royale. And I don't see other car makers doing the same thing. What I see, like we bought a 2023 Cherokee, which is the last Jeep Cherokee ever made. Now you have to buy a Grand Cherokee. But the old Cherokee, you can go back to, 2010, 2008 even, and the interior is exactly the same. The only thing that has changed on that vehicle was the engine. They put in the 2-liter Hurricane, but it had already been tried and true. They worked out the kinks on that Hurricane engine in the Wranglers and things like that. It did have a bumpy start, but by the time we bought the 2023 Cherokee Trailhawk Elite, that motor has already been worked out. And I worked that out with the Hornet, because the Hornet has the same engine, and I was really worried about these new, smaller turbo engines. And Jeep has had this engine out for a while now, so it was tried and true technology. And I think that's why my Hornet is actually that good. Like, the only thing with modern cars that is really going wrong all the time, and people are having trouble with, is the technology. Because it's all new, it's not tried, it's not tested. And that's the problem with modern cars. So you have to go with something that has parts from the previous versions, engine from the previous versions. It's okay to switch out the body styling, but the drivetrain, suspension, and the technology, if you're looking for a reliable car, has to come from previous versions. Like out of the box, already been used parts. I think that's the best advice any car person right now in the car market can give you for buying a new vehicle that you want to last you. Like even if people come to me and they're asking me about the Hornet and should I buy one, and it's a hit and miss. I'm sketchy on the 2024s. I am. I am. I will honestly say that. I honestly will say that. But the car has been so good to me. But I've also been on the front end of this on the Dodge Hornet Owners Forum, where we received the first batch and there was all kinds of weird problems, and that's where the story came from for that car. But that was a small percentage, actually, compared to the rest of us who had good cars, really, really good Hornets, right? And the car market today, like I don't know. It is so sketchy. It is so sketchy that I really do understand why people are hanging on to their old cars and why used cars are so high in price. Because you're no better off buying a used car unless you get a better percentage financing for a new one. There is no better reason to keep one or to buy an old car than a new car. They're going to be it is that hit and miss. They're just going to be that unreliable. New cars are just going to be that unreliable. They are proving to be that. Like the recalls that are coming out, things like that. This is the problem with car people trying to give advice. Like when you're asking car people right now, what is going on in the market, and they're going to be saying something similar to what I'm saying. They have to. That's the only default. And normally, I don't give that advice. Normally, I say find something fun. Find something that you like to get into every day, that you like to drive around, that you like to talk about, that you like to show off to people. But new cars are having catastrophic meltdowns. And they are Toyotas and Hondas. Like the old reliable stuff is not doing its thing. And I don't want to be the guy who people reference saying, oh, he told me this should be a good thing. And it turns out that it's a money pit. You know, I hate being that guy because I've had that before. I really have. But I fired those customers. My point about this is if you're not a car person and you're looking to buy a car, what a car person says to you actually won't matter. You'll buy it because it's got red seats, or you like how the key fob works, or how the rear view mirror is, whatever package is on the car at the time. You don't care about cars. And I think I'm speaking to car people about car people stuff. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. I think it's very relevant to what's going on right now today. And I don't think it's going to be a big switch around in the next couple of years. There might be a one-off model here and there, but it will take a long time for the car market to recover from whatever's happening now. Because the future, and I don't like to be bleak, I like to be excited about cars and things like that. But regular, everyday Joe cars, the future is bleak. Save up your money. Find an old Ferrari. I think that's where the car market's going. And if you can afford an everyday car and you don't care about the price, you don't care about blah 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 blah, yeah, absolutely. Find something you fun. Find something fun. Find something you enjoy getting into. Find something that you like driving every day, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All right. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button. If you're a subscriber, hit the bell for notifications. I actually don't do that on YouTube videos, but I'm mentioning it because my daughter is telling me to say that. And if you're new, welcome. This is Ryan in Cars. I talk about cars. Something like this happens every day. It's unedited, no high production, on purpose, no AI. I'll see you in the next one.